Wilson is the gentleman who's officiating in the church, just so Commissioner Jack Wilson.
Your team.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right here in the council.
Amen.
How are you, sir? I'm good. It's really nice to see you.
All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good to see you. Well, I want to thank everybody for gathering with us here today. You know, we gathered today at what truly is considered to be the cradle of liberty in the Lone Star State. We are on hallowed ground where men and women, they put their lives on the line, and they lost their lives for the ultimate cause of freedom, for what turned out to be the Lone Star State, the greatest state in the United States of America. They fought for freedom. They fought for liberty. And that included the freedom to be able to carry a weapon. And they knew the reason why somebody needed to carry a weapon was far more than just to use it to kill game that they would eat. They knew as much as anybody the necessity of being able to carry a weapon for the purpose of defending yourself against attacks by others. That very same principle exists today. Just look at the ranchers who live in South Texas who are being invaded on a daily basis by people coming across the border. They need to have a gun to be able to defend themselves against cartels and gangs and other very dangerous people. There is a need for people to have a weapon to defend themselves in the Lone Star State. And when you consider that, you can understand why we are pushing back against this narrative across America, where people are saying, from the federal level to the local level, that Second Amendment rights are under assault, that government officials are saying, heck yes, government is coming to take your guns. Texas will not let that happen. Joining with me today are some very important people who ensured that all of these bills I'm about to sign got to my desk. They include Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, Speaker Dade Phelan, members of the Texas House and Texas Senate. We have some very special guests with us today who are very interested in this. One is the Executive Vice President for the NRA, Wayne LaPierre. We also have somebody with us that I presented a Medal of Honor to, a Medal for Courage here in the state of Texas. He is a quintessential example of a good guy with a gun. He was in a church at a time that a shooting broke out, and because of his swift action using his weapon, he was able to bring the shooter down immediately and save lives. His name is Jack Wilson. He is right here. This session, what the people behind me did, they built a complete barrier around gun rights in the state of Texas, and today I'm signing 7 laws that protect Second Amendment rights in the Lone Star State. Number 1, is probably the biggest and best of them all, and that is the constitutional carry right in the Lone Star State. Constitutional carry is now law in Texas. Next is a law that makes Texas a Second Amendment sanctuary state. This helps to shield Texas and Texans from overreaching federal government laws that we will not allow any Texan to enforce in the Lone Star State. You're doing some tidy work. Yeah, that's pretty good. Texas is now a Second Amendment sanctuary state. Next, we are also preventing any government entity from prohibiting the sale or transportation of guns or ammo during a declared disaster. These yours? I'll just give them to you right now that you're here. And we're also prohibiting any government entity from contracting with any business that discriminates against firearm and ammunition businesses and organizations like the NRA.
Governor, we'll take those.
Yours? Who else?
Right here, right behind you. Thank you.
There we go. Next is what I call holster choice. Texas eliminated the shoulder or belt holster requirement, allowing Texans to carry in whatever kind of holster they choose. Yes. Thank you. Who's with you?
Yeah, that one too.
There you go. There we go.
Yes, you want this one is the one.
That's the one he
How
wants
about
to
these two?
Okay. I think that's Hall and Holland and neither.
That's
Okay.
right.
Hall and Holland?
They're not here.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Listen, we're not done yet.
Dave, will you keep Justin?
Two more.
I'll get Bob's too.
So this is an interesting factoid. So this year, Texas passed 7 laws protecting gun ownership rights in Texas. Last session, we actually passed 10 laws protecting gun owner rights. And so the two sessions combined 17 laws passing gun rights in Texas. Surely there's no state in America that's ever done as much protecting gun rights in their state. This next law, it protects travelers who are traveling through the state of Texas, and it allows them to store firearms in their hotel rooms.
Donna?
There us. Who's with you, Donna? A repeat offender.
We like Texas safety.
There you go. Thank you. You stay in a hotel room? This is now law in the Lone Star State. And last but not least, we passed a law that says any firearm suppressor made in Texas and stays in Texas will not be subject to federal law or federal regulations. Who's on this?
Tom Oliver.
Oliver, there you go. Doctor, thank you. And who's the other? Who's the senator?
Again, a repeat offender.
There you go. There you go. Thank you.
We go, Drew.
Good job.
Firearm suppressors are now protected by Texas law. I'm now going to open it up to other folks who are here at the podium with me, beginning with Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick.
Thank you, Governor. This would be a day that Travis and Bowie and Crockett would be proud. Governor, when we came in 2015, we've passed campus carry, open carry, constitutional carry, and again, more Second Amendment bills than any legislature in the country. We are a place where Texans will stand up and defend themselves, Jack, and defend others and save lives. You were a hero that day. To all of you who are here in support of these bills, thank you. And to Matt Schaefer for your vision on 1927. To Senator Swartner for 1927. And our Senators Springer and Campbell and Brandon Creighton, who are all here. As the NRA said, I believe, Wayne, this was an unprecedented record-setting session for any state, not just Texas. That's right. And I want to thank the NRA because without your help, we couldn't have gotten it done. 1927 is a model for the nation. Let's get the other 29 states to join the first 21 and get this done. And Governor, we have, where's Steve Williford? Steve, I couldn't see it. Get up here, Steve. Woo! Steve Williford, everyone. Another modern-day Texas hero. Thanks, Steve.
Jack was blocking you on purpose.
Yeah. Yes.
And now the Speaker of the Texas House, Dade Phelan.
Thank you, Governor. Again, appreciate your leadership on this issue. As always, this is a prolific day for the Second Amendment in the state of Texas. And it wouldn't have happened without these individuals behind us, the members of the Texas House and Texas Senate who did all the work, and for the grassroots, folks in this room.
That's right. Thank you.
NRA, Gun Owners in America, and other groups that were in constant contact with all of our offices to get all of these bills across the finish line. But particularly Matt Schaefer and Charles Swartner for 1927, which was a bill I joint authored years ago. And my only regret this session is I couldn't vote for these bills. Maybe I'll go enter my name in the journal before it's too late. But I would love to vote on these really monumental, prolific gun bills. And so, again, I'll save this for Davy Crockett when I run into him at some point in time, one of these days. But thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. And now the Executive Vice President for the NRA, Wayne LaPierre.
I would just like to thank Governor Abbott, all the individual citizens all over Texas that came out to support this legislation, all the leaders in Texas in the legislature and that led the way. Freedoms Americans really agree on overwhelmingly are their constitutional right to own a firearm and their right to defend themselves and their families. And it's an increasingly dangerous world. People want to be able to protect themselves, and thank God Texas is leading the way for the country in making that possible.
We'll take a few questions.
Governor, did you choose San Antonio instead of Austin for the ceremony because of the mass shooting that happened last week in the
Next question.
So, you must be from out of state because anybody here who does not understand the gravity of what the Alamo means to Texas doesn't understand. You could say that I signed into law today some laws that protect gun rights. But today, I signed documents that instilled freedom in the Lone Star State. And that's what the Alamo represents. That said, I'm not going to dodge the intent of your question because I want to answer your question. He asked a question about the shooting that took place in Austin, Texas last week. I had the opportunity to visit with the family members of the person who lost his life. It's a tragedy. The family members are heartbroken about what happened. But the family members were adamant about two things. One, do not let this crime committed by teenagers be a reason to eliminate gun rights in the United States of America. A second thing they told me is they were adamant also that they were against policies that defund police in our cities, like what happened in Austin, Texas. The last thing that everybody must understand, those who believe and support Second Amendment rights, we support the right of every law-abiding American to be able to have a weapon to defend themselves. That is different from teenagers unlawfully getting access to guns to commit crimes. Those are people who deserve to be behind bars for the rest of their lives. Yeah. Few more questions.
Governor Patrick, one of the gun laws that you discussed in recent years was extending background checks to stranger-to-stranger sales. You said in 2019 you'd be willing to take an arrow from the NRA on it. The NRA is obviously here today. Do you still support that? Is there a reason you didn't push this discussion?
We want people who have the right to carry a gun to be able to access a gun and carry that gun to defend themselves. And all of us, including the NRA, all of us want those who shouldn't have a gun not to have a gun. Pure and simple. In fact, the NRA were the ones who wrote the original background check and did a great job on that many years ago. I answered your question.
Next question.
Any reason that bill didn't get,
Say?
any reason that bill that Patrick Svitek mentioned didn't get passed?
Yeah, there was not a bill filed to my knowledge, so that's why it didn't get passed. Secondly, we're interested in being sure that people like Steve and Jack have a right to save lives. And the media needs to understand that you are so far out of touch with where Texans are and Americans are on this issue under this Biden administration that allows criminals to cross the border and put all the lives of the people in this room and their families in danger, that in this state, we're saying it's not going to happen on our watch. And that's why these bills pass. Period.
No, Melissa, you got a chance already. We got some other hands up. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
When will all of these go into effect?
All right, so here's the deal. The way the law works in the state of Texas, if you get 2/3 of the vote in the House and Senate, it goes into effect immediately. Otherwise, it goes into effect September 1. Right now, I don't know the vote count on any of these.
These are all September 1.
They're all effective September.
I believe. Is that correct? All in September 1.
All effective September the 1st.
Last question?
Governor, I know in your remarks you mentioned the ranchers down in South Texas, and that's a subject that we really are covering. 12 counties have come to you and asked you for help. What is your message now that this bill is in place for those ranchers that starting on September 1st will be able to arm themselves and protect themselves as well?
So if I'm understanding you correctly, you're talking about the counties who are asking for the help of the state of Texas to help those counties secure the border. So it's my understanding there's actually more than 12. But I've already declared a disaster for 34 counties. We're recalibrating and we are increasing the level of the disaster declaration. It's my understanding as of yesterday, there were at least 25, maybe more than 25 counties who are asking for the increased disaster declaration, where we will be taking a tougher stance, providing more resources to arrest more people who are coming across the border, as well as to start using in those counties that are a part of this disaster declaration, use those counties to build the border wall in the Lone Star State. Thank you very much. Wait. One team photo here real quick, everybody. Get close together.
Thanks for everything you did on all this.
You're welcome.
I'll be able to get it. This guy just needs to move. All right. Hey, right up here. All right, right up here. Ready? 3. Can you move him out? All right, right up here. 3, 2, 1. All right.
Thanks, y'all guys. Thank you so much.
What? You're on Facebook. Woo! Okay. Look at that picture. I think I got it, but that was sketchy, man. Yeah? Hey, if it's in focus and everybody's in, I'm happy.
The guy at the bottom left never got out of frame.
You what?
It's enough to work.
We can crop it. Yeah.